as usual. Let's get some reaction to what's going on this and other issues. Democratic Congressman Dutch Ruppersberger of Maryland is joining us. He's the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, you hear this information. What goes through your mind?
It's just a wild world out there, but I know and I have confidence that the United States and allies will take care of the safety and welfare of our countries, believe me.
Because it's hard to believe that a series of missteps or whatever could have resulted in a guy. I mean, I was a White House correspondent for years, and I was on the north lawn of the White House all the time, and once in a while you do get some guys jumping over the fence, but within a few seconds they're stopped there. It's shocking to me that someone could run all the way across the north lawn, get inside, and actually get into the East Room of the White House.
Well, I think it is shocking. You know, we have to remember we have excellent men and women who work for the Secret Service. But when you have situations like this, it has to do, I believe, with upper management, holding people accountable, making sure the systems work. And that just hasn't happened, and people need to be held accountable because the Secret Service is one of the best in the world in what they do. But this embarrasses them, and we need to deal with it, and I'm sure we will.
Yeah, the Secret Service does a fabulous job, except in this particular case.
People in America.
They made there were some serious blunders there, and we'll see what happens, and hopefully they'll learn the lessons to make sure it never, ever happens again. Let's move on and talk about some other issues in the news right now. Al-Qaeda. The al-Nusra Front, as you will, there are these reports that it may be merging with ISIS. What do you know about that?
Well, they talk about merging. There was supposedly a meeting for 4 hours. You know, remember, Al-Qaeda told ISIS, we don't want you here. We don't like you cutting people's heads off. We don't like your tactics. We think that you hurt us. Now, al-Nusra Front, by the way, which is part of Al-Qaeda, is strictly focused more on their region, where Al-Qaeda is focused more on the United States and our allies and attempting to do whatever they can to perform attacks on Americans and our allies, and Israel also.
Because there are reports that this Khorasan group, another al-Qaeda splinter group, if you will, they're brokering this deal between al-Nusra and ISIS.
Well, Khorasan is a group. It's a very, they've been around for a while. They come basically from Pakistan. But they're very smart. They do research. They're trying to develop bombs that can get through detection. They're trying to develop bombs that can go into laptops. I mean, they're trying to find a way to do whatever they can do to attack the United States or our allies. And really, Khorasan is probably at this point just as dangerous as ISIS. ISIS is now still focused on their region, and they're focusing on controlling the land and moving. But when it comes to Khorasan, that's the core al-Qaeda that still looks at us as the ultimate target. That's the West. So we have to be very vigilant with them, and I believe that they feel they're getting need resources because we have been effective in the last couple of months in taking out some of their leadership with our airstrikes.
This new audio recording Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the ISIS leader who is supposedly the Iraqis said he would have been injured at least, if not killed, in an airstrike a week or so ago. There's a new recording of him now. Has the U.S. authenticated it is, in fact, the voice of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi?
Well, we had briefings today, and no, it has not been authenticated. But let me just point this out. If it is Baghdadi, why didn't they have a visual? Why was it just audio? Why did they have his voice and not talking as an individual? So we just still don't know. But he is a very strong leader. He's charismatic. I mean, he's the person who has led ISIS where they are. He's the person who's coordinated them really obtaining illegally billions of dollars. And it would hurt if he were killed. But there's a lot of other leadership that is involved with this, too. They have command and control. So they are a very, very serious group that we have to deal with, and we are dealing with them.
We heard our Pentagon correspondent, Barbara Starr, report that the U.S. conducting more airstrikes against Khorasan now. 3 weeks ago, the Obama administration said Khorasan posed an imminent threat. How imminent is that threat to the U.S. homeland from Khorasan, these other al-Qaeda groups, right now?
Well, what I just said before is that right now, Khorasan is probably a bigger threat to us than ISIS. Now, ISIS is a threat. I mean, there will be a threat for a long period of time. But as far as the present danger to the United States or our allies, I'm worried about Khorasan. We have to be focused on them because they're doing research and development and trying to develop mechanisms to attack us, to blow us up, whether it be airline, whether it be attacking the United States, whether it be suicide bomb. Khorasan is a group that is working hard to develop that type of technology.
So there is a possibility, correct me if I'm wrong, Congressman, that core al-Qaeda, Ayman al-Zawahiri, who's hiding someplace, maybe in Pakistan, we don't know where he is, al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, in Yemen, al-Shabaab in Somalia, all these other groups, ISIS, Nusra, Khorasan, they could unite. That would be a pretty formidable front, wouldn't it?
I don't believe they're going to unite. I think they'll try to work and help each other if they can. But you have the group that is in Yemen and that area. They have done a lot of research. They do the type of things focusing on us as Khorasan would. But the core al-Qaeda still focuses on the attacks. Most of the time they're focusing on suicide bombs, blowing up airplanes, that type of thing. This ISIS is a different situation. But you know, if they are working together, but I think Zawahiri, who's the leader of al-Qaeda, I think he's lost a lot of his command and control. But which makes it more dangerous for us because we have more people to look at and to find throughout the world that are threats to us or our allies.
Congressman Dutch Ruppersberger of Maryland, the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. Thanks as usual for joining us.
Sure. Okay, Wolf.
Thank you very much.